back in budget session. This is our final day to look through here and look at some of these things, and we appreciate everybody. Thank you, Auditor's Office, for what you've done to make this a lot better. And IT, so the print's bigger and I can see. It's great. And we appreciate that. We've been in two days of budget session, and we're looking at some budgets and seeing what we can do. So we're going to start off the day with the commissioners' budgets, and they have several. So we're going to work with them this morning.
Ricky's gonna start with maintenance.
Okay. Maintenance.
I call him Rocket J. Squirrel because he's flying all over the place. I call him Rocky.
Morning, guys.
State your name, if you would, for the record.
All right. Ricky Hammond, Vigo County Building Maintenance Director.
Okay, as we look at your budget, we know that the ones we'll be looking at later, at a later date, 2, 3s, and 4s. And you have quite a few contracts and some things, so we'll start at the top.
Okay, so we're not doing anything with the payroll?
No.
Up top, okay. So I will start with the office supplies. I am leaving it the same. There's no change on it.
There is none in it.
An office supply?
Nope. And maintenance repair supplies,
Might want to put something in there if he wants to leave that in there.
I guess we didn't add nothing to that one, did we? I just now noticed that.
we've got 2 blanks there for the office supplies and maintenance and repair supplies, but actually, you didn't have any in that before on the maintenance repair supplies on last year's budget.
Yeah, we don't have nothing in that one, but there
Okay.
should have been 500 in the office supplies. That was a mistake.
Okay. Add 500.
Yes. And then moving on down, the maintenance and repair supplies is 0. I didn't have anything in that.
Okay.
And then janitor cleaning supplies, I left it the same, 47,000. And our paint, glass, electrical supplies, I also left that the same, 17,000. If I'm going too fast for you guys, let me know.
You're good.
No, so far you've only spent, what, $31 out of that budget?
Which one's that?
Building
Courthouse
maintenance.
Building maintenance with the 15,000 in it? Okay. I don't have that heading on those, so, you've only spent 3,369 for a half a year.
Is that out of the, are we talking about the pane glass electrical? Oh, the plumbing. Yeah, that one's kind of a hard one to kind of judge too. We did purchase a lot of stuff at the end of the year with last year to kind of stock our shelves, but we are kind of running low. So a lot of times what we'll do towards the end of the year is restock.
Sure.
So
Okay.
and then we did, and I guess that is right, Judy, we have the miscellaneous, and I moved it to 2,000. So we did add that line item in. Moving on down to gasoline, I moved it up to 18,000. And I did that because we added a group home van, so we have a new vehicle now that they're using for the group home. I figured that additional $400 a month. We also have the new plow truck, which is a 1-ton pickup, so I tried to increase that to kind of compensate the gas bill on it. The wearing apparel, I moved it up to 2,500. We did add another employee, and I mean, the maintenance side kind of goes through shirts quite often, so. Contractual services, I left that at 75,000.
Can you tell us what that is?
That's mainly, I have a list if you guys would like a copy of it. It's all my contracts for all the buildings, like the Mohawk Security, the JCI, we have contracts through them to come do PMs on the chillers. We have QPH that runs like controls through the courthouse. We have contracts with Carrier that does our controls here at the Annex and Community Corrections. It is also a part of the fountain contract. They come once a week to check the levels and the filters on the new fountain at the courthouse for the turn to the river. And there's several more. We have contracts with like Everpar that does all the PMs on the generators throughout the county. And this one doesn't include the jail contracts, so we do pay that out of lit. So these are just mainly the other county buildings throughout the county. Do you have any other questions on that one?
No.
Okay. Moving on to contractual services other. That's our night cleaning crew. They do cleaning at the courthouse, community corrections. They do the 911 cleaning over there, Purdue Extension Building. And I was requesting more money on that one because at this time, when it was first set up, they have like, what they do is the main public areas of the courthouse. They do the public bathrooms, all the main entry levels, the courtrooms. And we had them on like 2.5 hours a night to clean. And there was some complaints at the courthouse that it wasn't getting cleaned as well. Well, they could only do so much in 2.5 hours. So I wanted to kind of increase their time. And actually, there was more work over at Purdue. They're only cleaning that, I think, once a month right now, or once a week. I think it was once a month. Yeah, they're only cleaning that once a month. So there is needs for other cleaning to be done throughout the county. That's why I asked for a small increase on that one.
Who is that doing that?
That's KCB Cleaning. The window washing contract, or the window washing, I left that at 7,000. Bird and pest control, I asked for an increase on that one. We've had some issues with spiders at the courthouse, and so we have to have them come in and fumigate some of the areas. And I had spoke to them, and they thought that the best plan of action on that would be like doing exterior spray on the courthouse and try to eliminate the possibility of the spiders coming into the building. So I increased it to try to see if that would work. They do a spring and fall spray, exterior spray on the courthouse. I thought that might be more beneficial than going in and fumigating the whole entire area in the courthouse, so.
Is that the bug, man?
Yeah, correct.
And the other one is the bird control?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, A-Mark is the company we use for that. And
Who is it?
A-Mark,
Okay.
they're out of Rockville.
Right.
They come once a week and inspect for any bird entry into the courthouse, and then they also do the crow control. We've added some crow control here at the annex as well, because last year for some reason we had an issue here. So,
Oh, yeah.
and as you know, they cause a pretty big mess. So, the chemicals and boilers. Well, it's actually the chilled water and hot water loop is what that is on the chemicals. I jotted. Did I make a change on that one on your guys' sheet? The chemicals and boiler. Because for some reason I have two different totals.
Yeah, 'cause we're gonna do the ice melt.
Oh, that's correct. So yeah, I didn't know if we wanted to make a new line item for that, or if we just wanted to keep it in that line item for the ice melt. Yeah, it's what we use to salt the sidewalks.
It needs to be moved up to 2,
Okay.
because
So-
threes are services.
Okay. What we could do, if you guys are okay with it, I could just leave that one at 6,500 and then create a new line item for $3,000 for the ice melt. My clean air services, I did request to move that up to $10,000. There is box filters at the courthouse and the jail that we were unaware of. and they need to be changed out every year. So, I mean, there's multiple filtrations through those air handlers, but those were ones that we wasn't aware that need to be changed as often. Simplex Fire, that's Tri-State Fire. I requested to move that up an additional $1,000. There's been some fire extinguishers that's been used throughout the county, and just to compensate, refilling them. The building repair, which that's a 0. It's in cum cap now, so I left it at 0. Vehicle repair, I left it at 13,000. The elevator maintenance, I continue to leave that at 20,000. And of course, with the title transfer and registration, those are both at 0. The lawn care, there was an increase with Hoop and Garner Lawn Care. We also added leaf pickup with their services. It only made sense if they're out doing the mowing that he added that into his contract, and so there was an increase there. Also an increase for his business as well, so that's why that went up. The vehicles, I left that at $71,375.
Is that a lease or contract or what is it?
No, we're actually requesting new vehicles this year again. We were doing one a year. So at this point in time, there is a 2023 model in Bloomington Ford. So there is the potential to maybe gain 2 new vehicles this year at that price. So that's why I left it at the same. One of them was roughly $30,000 for a 2023 model, and then they have the 2025 models as well. Right now, we're currently using a vehicle from the North Highway garage, and we have a van that's the transmission's out of. So we're pretty limited on vehicles right now the way it is. We did gain a new plow truck. We have a new 1-ton Ford, and then a Dodge Ram pickup that we purchased the year before that. Yes, that was Jim's truck. That we had to put a new motor in that truck too. So, yeah, correct. The highway saved us a lot of money by doing that. We had them put the new motor in.
Are we getting bids on the vehicles?
I've attempted to.
Trying to get local vehicles instead of going back to Bloomington?
Well, Bloomington is the only
Only one that'll do the government thing?
Yeah, that gives the government discount.
Yeah, I've tried almost every place locally, and I've
I
had.
don't even want to mess with it usually.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's just 1 or 2 vehicles, maybe for a fleet, but yeah.
Moving on to the sweepers and buffers, I left that the same at $2,000. And the equipment new, I left at $8,000. I think that's all on the list on that one. And we can move on. You guys want to move to lit?
Can I answer a question on this one?
Yep.
This question might be more for Commissioner Klinkenbeard. On the group home van, is that the group home, we're talking about the where the kids live?
Correct.
So, I'm just trying to educate myself here. I don't understand everything just yet. Why is something like that not in the group home budget so that we can see whether or not what we're putting out on the group homes? Okay.
Well, Councilman Ellis, as we have changed that around, we're going to close that completely.
Right.
And has changed direction, we can leave that up to you guys where you want those items funded out of. Certainly. What we have wound up doing to proceed and improve that, and as the number of children being served has increased, and revenues have started to come in from some of those things. But to do that right now, we've had to rely on our highway department to go down there and do work, our maintenance department, so, not to say it's in limbo, but what I'm saying is there's some expenses that have been incurred and some needs that have been rather immediate, and Ricky has put this in here to compensate for those expenses. Whether they'll be used out of that or not are up to your direction.
I would defer to,
Yeah, that's something we can look at, when we do.
Yeah.
for
I mean, might help us understand more of what's going out for that program.
Yeah, and as I look at this budget, there's so many overlaps in materials and stuff like that. I understand, you know, you wanna make one thing for flooring, but, you know, why do we have so many line items? I think, money-wise, it doesn't matter.
I
We
think-
have so many line items.
I think we're all talking about something different. Did group homes give you a van to use?
Correct.
Yes.
That's
So
what
it's
it
in
is.
his
They
budget. It's
do.
Oh,
not. Group
all right.
homes
We
had a
pulled.
van. Norm said that yesterday.
sorry.
Had a van and turned it over.
Oh, so it's not, the group home isn't using it?
No, is
No,
it?
it's
No,
for my
Well,
no.
They
Okay.
weren't, yeah.
Yes. It's for
Okay,
their maintenance
sorry,
line.
guys.
That's the white van?
It's a great van.
Yeah, it's a nickname.
I apologize, I should have clarified.
That's all right. That's why we
All
ask
right.
questions.
Yep, there you go.
Okay, thank you, Mike.
I think it would be, even if we decided to try to separate that, even though it is maintenance for the group home, that we do utilize that maintenance guy throughout the county. So he's just not going to the group home, so it'd be real hard to kind of separate.
No, that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I should have clarified more, I
That's my
apologize.
question, though. I was thinking the same thing. Wait a minute, Larry?
So, do you lease vehicles?
At this time, no, I do not. They're paid off currently. We had one that we had leased, and we did that for 3 years. We made that last payment, it was this year, I think, Tammy. And then the council decided last year to just go ahead and pay full price for a vehicle.
Would you consider leasing vehicles if we found the right dealership?
I mean, I don't think it's an issue for me, so.
That'd be up to the commissioners.
Yeah, I was just curious about
We
that.
had Enterprise come in one time and went
You know,
through
we
a
just always have the
vehicle.
transmissions going out and the high mileage vehicles and, you know, lease, you can run it a little bit and then give it back.
We've
So,
had several people through the years come in for fleets, you know,
Okay.
wanting to do
I was just
that.
curious.
Yep. And we have leased vehicles before.
Yes. If you guys are complete with this one or have any more questions, we can move on to lit. So the first one on the lit category for me is the paint, glass, and electrical supply. I left it at $5,000. The plumbing supplies, I also left it at $5,000. The gasoline, I left it at $35,000. That, and to kind of explain that one a little bit to you guys too, the generators at the facility at the jail are roughly $60,000 to fill if they're empty. Well, it's kind of hard to judge how much you're going to use a generator throughout the year, so I always kind of put around half, just to have some cushion in case we do. I mean, we do lose power down there quite a bit, more than what.
Down there too.
There's 3 generators, yes. So I just kind of calculate maybe half the fuel cost just in case we have a large outage. I mean, the year before, I think we ran them for a week straight, but they don't burn much diesel, but just to kind of have it in case we need it. Very rarely do we use that much, though. The contractual services, I requested to move that from $160,000 to $190,000 with the galvanized pipe issue that we had, and then changing the pipe out. I added an additional $30,000 for it. The bird and pest control, I left it the same at $28,000. And then the chemical boiler and chiller, we did since the jail had been open, there was a large amount that we had with Culligan water that was that we were using, and then we just ran out of that money, I guess. I don't know if you remember, Judy, it was before I even started, so they had a large credit at Culligan Water, and so we just ran out of that money. So now we're having to pay for the softener, the water softener. I calculated it with Culligan Water, and we're spending about $7,500 a year, so that's why that's a large increase in that line item.
But was that with the jail?
Yeah, the softener tanks
The
at the
old
jail.
softeners we had in the jail were pretty big.
Yeah, it's a really large tank that they have at the new facility. We even keep track of how many bags we use a month. If you guys would like to see that, I could get you information on that too. So,
Do you guys fill it yourself?
yeah, we do.
Okay.
Yep.
You're just purchasing the salt.
Yeah, that's it. And then, of
They
course,
deliver it.
they try to. Yeah,
So is that a service or is that
I mean, they just drop the supplies off to us and we fill it.
okay,
So they just drop the salt off to us and then we keep track of filling it ourselves.
we're probably gonna change that to a tube.
Okay. So just request it in that line item and then we'll move it. Okay.
Put it in supplies. Yeah, right. Yeah, they're
I
only
gotcha.
dropping it off and we maintain it.
Okay.
Whole 10,400 in needs to be moved to, is that the only thing that's useful?
No, I do have Adam Chemical that does the treatment, so I'll have to leave the 1,900 in there and then just move the additional over.
Will you give us the line?
The next one on the list is Simplex Fire. I left it at $28,000. And then the lawn care, I did have a small increase on that because their bill went up through Hoop and Gardner Lawn Care. They had an increase, so that's why that shows up. And then I made notes on the bottom on this lit clean air. Was that something we were gonna? Oh, I'm sorry. Was that something we were gonna add, the lit clean air? $4,000.
It was, but I don't know if it's different.
What's the difference on the lawn care here and the other lawn care?
There's no difference. I think, are you asking why it was in this?
Right.
Because I think that they were just taking it out of lit since it had to do with the jail. If I'm,
Has to go in
Anything-
separately,
Yeah,
gotcha.
we can pay for it out of lit, right?
Okay.
So this is in addition to the other lawn care?
correct.
Yeah, there's a courthouse and
Annex and courthouse, gotcha.
Yeah, and they mow, they mow the courthouse, the annex, 13th Street, Purdue Extension Building, and then they did mow the old jail, so that's probably gonna be added in at some point. And I believe, I would have to look back, but I think that total that I had in the other budget was added into that as well.
Everything
So-
but the jail's separate. Got
Correct,
it.
you got it.
Yeah, that's why we're gonna add it in here, $4,000 in this budget.
Okay, yeah, so I did ask to request additional line item for the clean air, and that was, as I explained earlier, for the box filters that are in the jail. My contract with BNS does include all the filter change except for the box filters, so that's why I'd asked for additional $4,000 for that. And then the only thing I have left, are we doing the cube cap as well? Okay, I left that at the same amount of $360,000.
That's where all the building repair comes out of, the cume cap fund.
Correct. You guys have any other questions for me?
no, anybody? Good? Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
A little easier than it was last year, isn't it?
It is.
Hey, Ricky, that clean air, is it all just filters?
That's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, just filters.
So can we do like the HR? I got a couple things to say for Kara, she's not here, she had a doctor's appointment.
As a kid, we used to ride behind him.
What's wrong with us? Woo, we rode a bike behind the farm. Remember, we used to have to blow up the windows in the house.
State your name, please.
Tammy
Good
Allen,
evening.
Commissioners. Kara wanted me to let you guys know, in the contractual services, they've not used the $15,000 for the last couple years, but that's what she's planning on using this year to redo the handbook, so she wanted to be sure that didn't get cut.
Well, okay.
That's it. That's all I got. She just wanted to make sure that you guys knew that, because
Yeah.
like, if you could go back and look, it hasn't been used, but she is gonna use it this year to try and get the handbook redone. And they
Okay.
can't start that until, I believe, the middle of September.
Thank you. Ms. Allen?
That was an excellent presentation.
Just got the point across. Short and sweet, that's the way we
Really
like it.
good.
Commissioner General.
All right, you want to go by line by, you want to go by line?
Please.
Okay, all right. So, office supplies remain the same. Gasoline increased by $2,000. Wearing apparel at 0. Postage remains the same.
I'd like to say with postage, we didn't cut it this year because, and it doesn't, we haven't used a lot of it this year, but there was also no election this year. So next year, it'll ramp back up again because of election.
And the price went up
Yeah.
with stamps. So,
Substantially. Yeah. Yeah, as you go, as you go down through these items and you see what we've used and what we have and what we've budgeted, there's, ask those questions, I guess. Yeah. So, insurance liability, yeah, we worked on that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. These large items, we work on them and we negotiate and we try to reduce. You know how, I know Brad's intimately knowledgeable about those things. And I
a lot
know,
of them you don't have control on.
I know
It
Steve
happens.
is too. He runs a business, so, So, and Vicky's been down this road before. Workman's compensation, we've remained the same. It did go up a little bit, but payroll went up. Our experience mod went down on workman's comp this year with their 3-year average, and we got a little bit of a break, but payroll was up substantially. And so, and we've got the items we can work on. Most of our claims come out of the jail with correctional officers and injuries to them down there, so for what it's worth.
And also, I was gonna say for the liability too, if you remember, the commissioners had to come back to get another 200,000 because they're settling lawsuits and stuff right now from years in the past, so that's why we bumped it up that much.
Right, yeah. Claims at the,
Not enough.
Yeah, and it's probably not, because it's a lot that's coming from the jail down there.
yeah. So we'll continue to work on it as what our controls are to work on that as much as we can. Legal services, we bumped that up a little bit. Like I say, we have to represent ourselves at the county for all these claims. something every day coming in, as you guys know, some kind of a claim. United War Vets Council, that's our flags that we put up every year. Okay, Hamilton Center. Tammy looked that up, and that's what our contribution is supposed to be for our mental health contribution this year. Humane Society remains at $50,000, and spay and neuter $5,000. Spay and neuter did a little better job this year than in some past years. A little different group on some things.
But we haven't paid anything out this year yet, right? Have they?
No, we did.
We-
This spay and neuter, yeah, we paid we didn't pay anything yet, Judy?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking about the spay and neuter last year. I encumbered the money for them to pay for
Out
the
of
beds
this,
for the spay and
but
neuter.
it's not
Yeah.
allowed.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, but all of them are. Most of them are, yeah.
ARC remains the same.
Yeah, every year.
What's our burial of soldiers? $100 is what our agreed to help with any of our veterans.
And then it can be up to $200 if it's $100 per veteran. But then if they bring in a receipt that says that they have got a stone set, we give them an additional $100. Oh, Steve's got a question.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, our commissioner, I'm still learning about the lit and how that all works. My understanding is it's anything to do with the jail, is that correct?
Public safety.
Public safety?
Public safety.
So, I guess my question is could the funds that we're paying out for the liability claims that pertain to the jail, could that come out of the lit fund as opposed to coming out of general?
It is.
Just
I
like we
think
can
that's a
look into-
question. I think that's a possibility.
Yeah, it's a
I mean,
claim.
the thing of it is, Steve, is you just want to know what your costs are, right? And try to manage it as best you can. So where you put it, and if that's a possibility, yes, and there's funds available.
We
I
did on
can
that.
We
ask.
just have to look at the statute, see what
Yeah.
the statute says.
Yeah,
But since you know, the other ones, we have other liability claims other than just
right.
somebody falling at the courthouse or something like that.
But 95% are the jail.
But most of it's jail related.
And I'll
Right.
tell you, and a lot of it is silly, like if someone gets into it or Mike done me wrong, I can file for an indigent form down at the courthouse and the judges will waive the fee, and then nothing may never even come of it, but then we have to pay our attorneys
Right.
however much money just to even investigate it to find out there was nothing even done. I mean, it might cost $5,000 and it's just a false claim and it,
And the judges aren't even taking the fee.
no, because they file everybody from the jail indigent. Even if they've got money sitting in their account down there, they still file them indigent.
I don't know for sure, but I think that they changed that where they must charge them now. Or the fees, they can't waive the fees.
I think we talked to them about it at a council meeting, with Terry, with the prosecutor. That was a discussion.
Because I think it would stop a lot of the nonsense if they did charge them at some
Because
kind
it
of.
don't cost a penny to sue you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that, but I can let you know pretty quick. How's that, Steve?
Thank you.
Yeah, good idea. The, okay. All right. Yeah. I think various soldiers, like say, we're running about the same. The funeral homes are pretty good about making sure that the people receive that as the families of the deceased. Dues hasn't gone up. Change of venue, we've been doing all right with that. We'll leave it at 5,000. I don't know if we've even used any money out of it this year. You know, that can jump up pretty radically if we had a certain court case, but examination of records remain.
Like our audits, they've just done all these audits and
That's probably gonna be going up,
That's going to be going up.
yeah.
Monies we owed to the LGF.
State Board of Accounts has also raised theirs.
Yeah,
That's
state,
what-
that's who does the audit, State
yeah,
Board of
that's what we're
Accounts.
talking about.
Right.
I didn't know, so I just put 60,000 in there again.
We can look into it.
We need to bring it
They have permanent, we provide them all their office space now. So,
I
Why
know.
don't we charge them rent?
Can't, you have to,
can't,
you have to give them a place.
Yeah.
Just give them out of the lawn.
No, we're in good with State Board of Accounts, so we don't wanna make any waves.
They've been pretty good to us.
they've been pretty
Yes.
good to
Well, hold
us.
that opinion in your pocket, you never know, they've been kind of nasty lately. the
But they
state
are a
has.
cost to us.
I went through an audit last year with them, with Honey Creek trustee. It was fun.
I sit in on those others, I know how they are.
We
I
got
like to
good-
sit in on them, I get along with them well.
Okay, yeah, it's contractual services. We've upgraded these AEDs, we put new ones in, they were expired and what have you, and now we have a contractual arrangement to keep them active, which we didn't have before, so.
Lights, camera, computer.
Christmas lights installation on the courthouse has gone up, of course. Let's see. Electricity, we reduced that a little bit.
How'd you do that?
Well, we don't have an old jail that we have to provide power. I think that I think some of these costs we're gonna be able to hold pretty well because we don't have that, we finally don't have that that we're paying a gas bill on. There was
deal.
even water going out of there someplace and, electric, so, we're gonna,
Well, and plus everything we did was more efficient, lights and everything we've done through the years. And the jail is a lot more efficient. The new jail's a lot more efficient.
bigger but more efficient.
Yep.
Well, one of the things commissioners did, we did get some of that Duke Energy allocations for our smaller buildings. We couldn't get it for this, for changing out the lighting, the rebates. And, but we've been changing them out, instead of bulbs, we've been changing units out, so that should be substantial reduction in lighting bill. I mean, we still got huge air conditioners and things like that running. So, we're gonna hold our own on some of those utilities, I think.
Oh, you said something about
On the
solar.
sewage,
Yeah.
On the jail,
that 180,000 include that 68,000? No.
So what I wanted to do was take the 68,000 and move it into the jail, because for some reason, when the electricity and water and gas all got switched over to the new jail, the sewage didn't.
So the 180,000 plus the 68,
Correct. I want to put the 68,000 in lit for sewage at the jail.
Okay.
And leave the 180 for everybody else's sewage.
To your point, Steve.
Yeah.
Okay. Advertising, we're still required to continue that. It's pretty pricey. We have an additional expense with the new court with parking across the street. So we put that in there.
can we roll
Pop
up?
that up, pop the computer
Can we
up,
roll up,
please.
please? Thank you.
Thanks.
Court's not free. I think we'd been using about half that lot anyway, and some out the back and what have you. Now we finally got caught up with, and we're gonna have to pay for it. So, travel expense, why do we have that 5,000? We've overspent.
No, we haven't, but it's just, everything's just going up, the hotel rooms and stuff like that, when we go to conferences.
All right. Our trips to our lobbying trips for Washington, though, have been picked up by the Chamber of Commerce and what have you, so when you see us in Washington DC, why, don't get too nervous.
I do have a question. Are you, is the budget taking care of Indiana Association of Counties on the rooms and stuff for the council? Because I don't think we have anything in the budget on that.
Oh, you guys don't have anything, I mean, I might, how many people?
Usually invite 20 or 25.
That's in the council, Brad, that's in the council budget.
It is in the council budget?
And
Okay.
I had Devin raise it for next year.
Okay,
too.
good, thank you.
And then-
You, used to, the commissioners paid for all that at one time, and paid for all the, yeah.
Never
Well, you
got
were
paid for
commissioner.
mine.
Huh?
Yeah.
They pay for us when we're in this building.
I'm talking 25 years ago, we didn't have
Well, maybe 25 years ago, but I was around.
So I was gonna say, like with recording fees, I put $100 in there. We've never asked for it before, but we're doing like the old Otter Creek School, we had to do a so I have to transfer $25 and for one office and $10 for another office to be able to have it recorded and all that, so I just put $100 in there. Because we do a lot of different properties throughout the year, and I just have to always transfer that $35, so I thought if there was 100 in there, then I wouldn't have to transfer as much.
Okay. So official meetings, yeah, we do some transfers, as you guys know, and cover some of these expenses that are whatever. But I do like your idea to get the funds, Steve, out of the place where we're collecting the taxes. Professional fees,
Like our RJL Solutions and, what else? We've done some,
It's up 100,000, Tammy.
yeah,
Did you add something?
no, but like, well, like we've done, what are they called? Yeah, we've been having like appraisals done for like when they purchased like Steiner property and different stuff like that, so that's what we've been using. Can you see what else I just put that on?
Baker
Yeah.
Tilly, does that come out of that too?
Well, the Baker Tilly,
But Brady came up with that.
that comes out of the ARPA, out of the ARPA money, Baker Tilly does.
But what
Well,
about
yeah,
when
but
they
it's
just
not
did
gonna
that
come out of that.
study?
This time,
That comes out of our comprehensive plan, capital plan. That's where that came from. So we got 125,000 in there.
Yeah, isn't it?
And we might pay some Baker Tilly out of that, I don't know, I really don't, I'd have to go back and look at everything.
yeah, well, Baker Tilly gave us our one appraisal, and then when the SB one came along, they came back and had to do it again. And, so we're trying to keep up with things and get good advice, I guess. RJL is still maintained the same as they have for the last few years. It's $52,000 annually. Service agreements, and we reviewed most of those things, and some of those things have just gone up. We don't put anything in for lawn care. Office furniture, we may use. We've upgraded about everything we wanted around here, some chairs in here and in the other office there, whatever. So we may use it or may not. I don't have any plans for it at this point.
Oh, you mean the
AEDs?
machines? AED, yeah.
Do we have it in the building?
You have contractual services for AEDs on there.
Right.
Yeah, we signed up
They're a little pricey.
Where is it?
3-year lease.
See where it says
No,
14,000?
where is it in the building?
Oh, she wants to know where they're at located.
Right
for
there's
the-
Is that it?
one.
Okay.
Well, you're not
There's
feeling
one
good?
there, there's one over.
No, it's not for me, it's for you.
I believe there's one over by the ladies' bathroom, I believe. Yeah.
It costs a lot of money to redo them every year, or
Yeah.
every 3 years, whatever it is.
It
The
co-
batteries are only
it
good
was,
for a
Only people
certain
know
amount
where
of
they
time.
are.
I think that's why we didn't do
I
it.
think it's on there.
So we have looked at getting something like just through Amazon, but then with these through Centos, they come in and they service them and make, you get the pads and get all that stuff every year.
Right.
With Amazon, you can get them for one price and then
How many do we have?
two or three.
No.
And we're paying $9,000 a year for that?
Oh, yeah. Community corrections, juvenile.
The problem was when we found out about a year and a half, last year, that they hadn't been checked for years, and they weren't any good, so the last thing you want is to
Oh, yeah.
have an AED and somebody go, use it, and it's not any good. So we decided to go with this lease agreement, where they will come and check them all the time, and keep track of us.
That was one of the big
Batteries and
things.
Pads go bad, they're only good for so long.
Pads are good for 2.5 or 3 years. You gotta replace the pads.
And forgive me for asking, but we can buy brand-new machines every year for less than that. That come with brand-new pads and what?
We looked into that, it wasn't what we thought was a great idea, again, because you want them to work when you go to use them, and that was not, they weren't being serviced.
Can we assign somebody from,
Fire department?
yeah,
I suppose we could at this point, but we've already signed a
That was, that was one of the things, Steve, that we felt like if there was a liability time, that somebody grabbed one and it didn't work, we had proof this way that they were serviced and checked.
Like the fire extinguishers.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the fire
They come through,
extinguishers
they
or
haven't
anything.
been used, but they say you gotta have new ones.
And we could assign a maintenance, we just didn't feel comfortable with assigning our maintenance crew with, making sure these work.
We got some.
So it was more of a liability issue than the cost. I mean, cost is expensive.
So it's 2,500, Brady said that for one,
to buy one?
yeah, to buy one, and he's checking to see how many we have.
So, I mean, I know we have two at our shop, and we replaced the batteries and the pads, and it's nowhere near. Again, I know this is nickels and dimes relative to the
No,
budget.
it's not nickels and dimes. We thought it was terrible. We tried to get the health department to pay for it, and they wouldn't pay for it, and try to get it out of our budget. But
I'm not suggesting that we find somebody to pay for it. I'm suggesting we either just buy new units every year and consider them disposable, which would be cheaper than this, or we assign somebody to replace the batteries every 2 years and the pads.
well,
And that would be
again,
way cheaper.
All right, we have 8 of them.
In this building?
No, and
Oh, throughout the,
The
fac-
county.
Throughout the,
James got them, Chris got them.
there's 4 courthouses, one on every floor courthouse.
And
that's a little more
juveniles,
reasonable.
Then we'll have to have them in
Yeah,
a group
than
home.
2 or 3, yeah.
Okay, that's better because Steve, I thought there was only like 2 or 3 and
They are expensive.
You don't have to go in group homes.
And how often is your service replacing batteries and pads?
hold on a minute. This is pretty, and he, I guess, all right, go ahead, Ricky.
Hello, Ricky, don't lose my number.
Use this now.
What is it?
Ricky, don't lose another word.
Courthouse, and then we have 2 located at the annex. There's one that we just purchased for the group home as well, because they didn't have one there. And then there's also one, that community corrections takes care of themselves in the detention side at community corrections. And there's potential to have one with the 2nd floor at some point, but at this time, that's all we currently have.
So when you say we purchased, for this $9,000, they're not supplying these, all they're doing is, we're still buying them, all they're doing is servicing them?
Okay, correct. So the one at the group home, we purchased outright. The four at the courthouse and the two at the annex is through a lease through Centos, and we own them at the end of the contract, but they come out once a month to, inspect them, and then, of course, if the pads have been used, they replace them.
Copy. All right, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
So I think we've got you between a rock and a hard spot right now, Steve, because we've signed a 3-year contract
Sure.
to maintain them. But, yeah, I think it was more of a liability issue that we just weren't comfortable with our maintenance people inspecting them on a regular basis. And when we found out that all of them were out of service,
Right.
we scrambled
Signed
a
up to
little
have
bit.
somebody do it, yeah.
Yeah. Just something we hadn't looked at.
Thank you.
And I know, again, like what you're saying with your business, why, it's important.
Yep,
And you
respond.
put it on a priority list and make sure that it's done.
Okay,
Okay.
Alrighty. Moving along.
thank you.
Is that it?
No, we got edits, yeah. We still have edits.
Edit.
Chris, are you there?
He's not there.
He's got his mic muted.
I'm here.
Oh.
There's his little baby face.
Who's that?
Hey, Chris.
Chris.
Who?
Oh.
Chris.
Sweat.
Oh,
There he is.
Oh. Boo.
That does look good, actually.
Are you ready?
Ready.
We're gonna go through edit? Okay?
let's look at it real quick,
Yeah.
and then you really haven't changed it.
The big thing is asking for,
Community development,
well, Clinton Road
Engineering.
also.
and that's,
Larry explained that.
Yeah, right, yeah. Let me look through there. Yeah, community development. That used to be at 100,000 every year, and it got dropped down to 30,000, and,
Because we were using the ARPA money to help supplement.
correct, yes. And next year, we have a air show that we give, every time we have an air show, we give 50,000 to, so we're requesting, that's why we're requesting more for that. And like I say, Clinton Road, yeah, Larry explained that, and National Roadway projects. Everything else is the same on there.
actually, we dropped, okay, let's see, okay.
Yeah, the Metro.
Metro transportation planning,
and
a
they
couple
gave me those
thousand.
numbers, and I just put those numbers in.
Are we not doing improvement parks this year?
Adam said that he was gonna try and focus on other things, and then maybe next year or something, he'll ask for money, but right now, no, he didn't want to.
Yeah, he's got a lot on his plate and kind of wants to concentrate on maintaining what we have right now as far as parks and then taking a breath maybe.
Okay, you guys signed a contract yesterday for $100,000, and still what, state matches with
That was-
400?
Yes, that was for the,
Traffic.
state gave us 400,000. Safe Streets? Safe Streets Initiative, yes. And the county gives 100,000, the state puts in 400,000
Yeah.
for that. Yeah.
Where's that coming out of?
I don't know, yeah, Larry's budget.
Okay. Just curious. Heard
Council
on the news.
council budget, I think, is where we're gonna take it out of.
Heard on the news.
Oh, okay.
Okay. You guys have any questions on this? I mean, there's not a whole lot of changes on it. Looks like everything's been, one question I do have on the blight elimination.
Mhm.
We haven't had anything in that in a while, right?
We're not doing that programming.
Not doing it?
We're doing it.
Okay. We got rid of all the blight.
No, you didn't get rid of all the blight. Let me
I
just,
think it got moved into a different account.
You know,
Because that used to be an actual program that the state gives money to.
since we've been doing some of the demolition and gotten that moving, I'd like to say that when we approach a lot of these property owners, that probably the number of cleanups has doubled. The people are taking it, using their own initiative and their own money to clean up some of these places around the county. You know, some of these old farmhouses and what have you. They just, you know, they don't want to get that on their property tax or anything, or they can do it pretty efficiently themselves. So by doing what we've been doing, we've probably doubled the number of blight removal or hazardous homes and barns and things like that. So it's working. It's working
Good.
pretty well. Thank you very much.
All right, any other questions?
speaking of blight, my council district, my county council district is entirely in the city of Terre Haute, from Maple to Hallman, 7th Street to Fruit Ridge, and a little bit past that. At 325 North 23rd Street, a tree fell into a house. The house is condemned. It's overgrown with weeds. There are possums living there now, rent-free, by the way. And it's dreadful. It has rats. And it's a decent neighborhood. Can you guys talk to the mayor? He came in here yesterday wanting $1 million for the Riley Trail through Ray Park. I want that condemned. I want that house down. Can somebody do something to help me out here? What we do about that?
I'll bet we can.
Dial 311.
I've been dialing. I dial my finger down to the bone.
Give me the address.
Anybody know the mayor?
Give me the address.
I'll
bet
work
I
my
know
butt
some.
off for that young man.
I bet I know
And
some.
it didn't do me any good.
I might know. We might know a way.
Yeah, that'd be 325 North 23rd. I drive past that every other day, and it's still there. Okay, I'll talk
we
to you
done
after
then?
bid.
I'll ask one more question just to bring it up. Again, I'm just learning about lit and exactly how it works. Is there any chance that something such as a Clinton Road project that becomes a safety issue for first responders that need that road to be paved so that they can travel at higher speeds to get to the calls? Is there any way that lit funds can be used because they need that road to be smooth so they can run at the speeds that they run?
Well, I'm sure we can check and find out. I think that's probably a stretch for road and
I
streets.
figured it was a little bit of a stretch, but if,
Nice try.
but if it's legal and we're trying to
Well, you're
utilize
talking about
lit
wise use of revenue that we collect and yeah,
rather than take it out, yeah.
right.
Okay, is that it?
I was gonna say-
What else you got?
Yeah, Riverboat. Yeah.
Yes, I got Riverboat. I have Drainage Board. Riverboat is asking the same as what last year was, 135,000. That's for school security. Drainage Board is asking for the same amount as
We
last
adjusted
year, which
this
is 2816.
Can we look at Riverboat on the computer? Please. You just gotta scroll.
There you are.
Okay, thank you. Well, that's the revenue side. Okay.
Vicki, what was that address?
325 North 23rd.
I think the Riverboat's like 1.9 million. 1.9 million. We were getting about 250,000 to 275,000 every quarter for
Yeah.
the casino, and now it's kind of moved up. It went up a little bit, not a lot, but I wanted to say it was close to 300,000. This year, if we put in 834,000 from the casino. So some of that's money that was left from when we got it from the state when we weren't eligible.
Okay. Any questions? Thank you. Anything else?
Any other funds, Tammy?
Oh, we have the drainage board.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And everything just stayed the same on the drainage board. It's just salary.
That's just paying the board.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe that's it.
Very excellent presentation.
Thank you, guys. All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Harrison Township Assessor.
Hello,
Hello.
Chrissy Patterson, Harrison Township Assessor. Valerie Stapleton, Chief Deputy. We didn't have any changes to our request for our budget. The only difference would be, obviously, we didn't get a new vehicle. We didn't ask for another vehicle because we got that last year.
So everything's coming out of reassessment for you guys?
Yes, except for the salaries and the,
Except
yeah,
for the ones,
all the
yeah.
employee stuff, all of ours comes out of reassessment. Do you want me to go through each line, or?
Let us look at it here. I don't
Okay.
see anything that's way out of line. And they can ask you questions if they need to.
Okay.
Since everything's coming out of reassessment.
Contractual's about the only bump up. Let's-
Your contractual service, that's your copiers and,
And our Verizon, like for our tablet that we have out in the field,
Okay.
which, yeah, we're,
for your field people?
yes.
Okay.
And what did you say about your vehicle?
That was the only difference, was last year we asked for the money for a vehicle.
And we don't need
So
that now.
we don't have that requested now, obviously, so, and we're very grateful for that too.
I bet
Thank
you are.
Thank you so
I
much.
bet that old piece of junk you
I mean,
guys
it
were
makes it a lot
all-
easier when going to conferences and stuff. We can,
Or
everybody can
50,000.
ride together, so you don't have all those
No.
different mileage checks and all
Yeah,
that
and
stuff.
working
So-
in the
1.3
heat and all
last
that,
year.
oh my gosh,
Yes.
that was
Wow.
unbelievable. You should get a Purple Heart.
Well, that's true. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I couldn't do that. Any questions, guys? All right. Judy, you got anything?
I don't have any.
Oh, that's awesome.
Pretty standard.
Yep.
Awesome.
Okay,
Thank you,
thanks
ladies.
for coming
Good
and waiting.
Well, thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
I made this one easy for you.
Well, thank you for your time. We hope
Thank
you
you.
all have a wonderful day.
Judy or Larry or whoever, I have a question as to, when these are here, would it be possible to put the salaries over here as well so we can see the net change at the bottom? because when we're looking at the differences, we don't know what the salaries were.
Of the salaries are.
So we
are
can't,
automatic.
it's not easy for us to see what the net change
Yeah,
is.
yeah. No, but, yeah, because we haven't
We don't know.
done them for next
Well,
year.
but even if we just transferred the exact same number over, it would, and knowing that it's gonna change, it would allow us to compare apples to apples at the bottom. I mean, I know it's too late for this year, I'm just saying, next year when we do it, if it's possible. They probably won't pick me to be on the board next year, so.
We can call her, we, you come up with a good idea, I got it down.
Well, we went from being
Next
behind.
Nelson part,
It should be
that'll be a long one.
A long one, yeah. I wish so.
What? Guys,
911.
Larry, get your musical instruments out and I'll do that.
I need some shoes like that.
Come to my house. You probably have your gun collection, I have my shoe collection. Well, these are my lower ones because I had to have my knees replaced.
I could, there's no way I could. Oh,
I
is he
had,
gonna come back and get Chris?
Dr. Barron do it. And then I went down Northville. Alice House, they were talking about, from vacation, knees replaced. I said, we got put on that. Chris Foxy over here. I texted her, because she worked with the doctor from Duke. And then we had her home to create his knees. And she got me in on a Tuesday. Zach drove me over 7 in the morning, and we were driving off the line at 11:30. Yes.
They didn't do both? I've never heard of them let me do that. Williams did not.
You was over there when I was there, they didn't leave. It was the same doctor. He can carry Bayes' disease also. Dr. Barron, B-E-R-R-A-N-D. This is I shop local.
How recently did you replace?
I mean, I can do like, it's sharp and everything. I'm not supposed to go right on the wall. Yeah, he had the same doctor. Well, the first time he had Dr. Barron, there was no problem. The second time he did not, he had nothing but problems. That's the issue there. Well, he knew to tell you that.
We're ready for it, dear.
All right, where do you want me to be? Podium? Podium?
Break's over.
Break's over. No more clown fishing. Tell me which budget you'd like to start with.
Please, how many you got?
I have our 1159, which is General Health Fund.
Yep.
I have 1161, which is HFI, Health First Indiana, which is Public Health Fund. And then I have our non-reverting, which is 4957. And then lastly, 1168, which is Local Health Maintenance, which technically doesn't exist anymore.
Okay, state your name.
Joni K. Wise.
829.64.
And do you have grants, a lot of federal grants? Or
No,
state
no.
grants done?
No. The last one we had would have been our immunization grant, and of course, it runs on the federal cycle. And I must have been like a Nostradamus of public health grants because we had ours already spent down when the clawback came from federal government, so it did not affect us at all.
Okay, good.
So if we'll start with our 1159, which is our general health fund, there are 0 changes from 2025. Okay? So if we move on to 1161, which is the public health fund, the Health First Indiana, we went from 2.4 million in this year for 2025 to 660 some thousand for next year. So this budget was developed out of 2024 carryover and then what our allocation will be for the next 2 biennial budget years of 26 and 27. And it's mainly for our social services division, and we'll be able to fund some of our smaller grant-funded contractual programs. And if you want any in-depth of what that looks like, I'd be more than happy to email you over the budget that breaks it down, personnel, benefits,
Service agreements,
all that.
what's that?
Service agreement
new.
would be our Inspect to Go program that we use in environmental health, which is a cloud-based program that septic, body art, food, and lead are all connected to. And then eventually we'd like to see area planning on it and building inspection so that all 3 of us can work in conjunction without having to physically go into each other's offices. Like we can get real information out in the field.
Well, it looks
And-
like you've done a good job trimming down your budget.
The
Thank
other
you.
service agreement would be to Liberty Tire for Tire Amnesty, which is our IDEM certified tire hauler, handler, disposal, and recycler.
Any questions, guys?
Yeah.
And
I just want to give Joni kudos because that money that came in this year, what, get over 2 million from she just put it out in the community and just watching her be able to choose these people or groups that needed it and focus on, what was important. It went all the way from a food pantry to Phoenix House to the courts. I mean,
we looked at what programming was already out there and we didn't want any duplication of, and then look at the assessed needs of where our biggest pockets of need are. And we know that one from the jail, we have we're overpopulated there. We have the ACLU lawsuit, which is help lessening it. We went in front of Judge Jane Magnus Stinson, and she was extremely pleased with all the programming that we're doing with HFI, whether it's Judge Reddy in the courts with Chances for Youth in the schools, or whether it's what our social services division is doing, or what the judges are doing with their JRAC program. But all of it is to look at mental health, addiction, incarceration, and all the disruptions that those things cause. Because it's kind of hard to say to somebody, oh, let's smoke less cigarettes and eat more green salads when you don't even want to get out of bed in the morning or you're looking for a fix.
Yeah. I've been up in front of her a couple of times.
I know you have.
Yeah, we sure have.
I mean, we all have. Yeah, Vicki and I were there last. All right. So if there isn't any more questions on
No.
HFI, let me know. And we always make sure that the budgets for it are up online, who our partners are, what the budget justifications are, so in complete transparency if anyone wants to see what it is that we're doing.
Okay. Judy, you good with everything?
Yeah.
All right. Go to the next one.
4957 fund, that would be our non-reverting. Because we're not going to get the immunization grant this year that runs from July 1st to June 30th, that's what we use for our contractual help to pay for our insurance billing clerk, which has been our game changer over the last 10 years, where we were below the state's rate on our immunization completion rates. Now we've exceeded it, but part of that's because we've become a fully operational insurance billing entity. And we've now begun to bill for other things like our lead risk assessments, our lead testing, our physicals, which is bringing in additional revenue using that position. So that's what this is going to be for.
Okay.
Normally, we don't have to bring non-reverting in front of council, but because it's such a big ask or one big lump sum, we wanted to make sure that you understood what it was we wanted to use it for, because there's more money in that account, in that fund.
Any questions?
Yep.
Thank you.
And then lastly is our 1168,
And that was traditionally our local health maintenance fund. So local health maintenance and trust are probably they were about 30 years old funds from the tobacco settlements. With HFI, they rolled over, well, word-wise, into HFI, but we were asked to spend down the trust fund and our local health maintenance. We've already spent down the trust, and so where 1168 doesn't really exist anymore, we have to spend it down. And again, we're adding it to contractual for the same reasons as the non-reverting. And that's to use for our contractual help. Our immunization grant last year and the year before was around 79,000. So if you look at what we're asking for from the remaining local health maintenance and then out of the non-reverting, that'll cover most of it.
And where does that money come from?
The 1168, originally from the tobacco settlements to the states.
All of it was?
Yes,
from that.
the
Okay.
trust and the local health maintenance. And they had specific usages that were established by Indiana code.
I always like to point out that the tobacco settlement was generated much from a lawsuit that was initiated in Indiana by Gretchen Ettling's father.
Oh, my.
And they won that lawsuit. I covered that story for NBC Nightly News when they won the case.
Nice.
It was a big deal.
It's
Very big
interesting
deal.
because a lot of, with HFI, and I know that you guys have heard me say this before, it was like having a second job, and it was like flying the airplane while you were trying to build it, and it was, a lot of evenings and weekends in here to get it going, and then to have it cut back so drastically, and I know that there's, that we swing one way and swing another, but some of the counties want to forfeit the Health First Indiana and go back to what we call legacy, which is local health maintenance and trust, which we've always been given that option. And now they're saying, well, you can't because it's all been rolled over into HFI. Well, is HFI the funding from the state, or is it leftover tobacco settlement money that had been invested? So that's something to I'd like to look into a little further.
I'm going to tell you, Joni, what you have done for this county with the money that you have received has been remarkable. It has made a gigantic difference in the lives of the people who live here,
Thank you.
especially the children.
Thank you. There's a bigger picture than the health department. I'm super proud to work for county government, and it's looking at whether, paying for the security scanners at the doors, or, completion of trails or educational centers. It just enriches Vigo County. So thank you for that acknowledgement.
And also, just especially with the kind of the conflict now over immunization. But the immunizations that you guys have cranked out here has been a big difference.
Sure.
Big time.
Thank you.
All right, no other questions? Judy, you're cool? All right, thank you very much.
Remember, 8/29/64.
Thank you for working on your budget for us.
That's why it's coming up. Thank you, everybody. Any questions outside of here when I leave, don't hesitate to either come visit me, reach out. I'll help you out any way I can.
We'll all be down for lunch. How's that?
We're going to have a salad and air-fried fish. Does
No,
that
we
sound
won't be there today.
But you know what's the best day to hit us? Is Gross Food Friday, because we eat healthy all week, and then on Friday, we can eat whatever we want.
We'll be there Friday.
And then we have Thugged Out Thursday if we're ever off on Fridays.
Dr. Broken called me the other day about that jacket I dropped off.
Yes!
He called me about that.
He was tickled. You
Yeah.
should have seen his
Yeah.
face.
Yeah, I know he plays, and they played the same league with me.
Yeah.
And, if he couldn't wear it, somebody could.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
All right, be good, everybody.
Thanks. Boy, that money that they got was just such a difference. Big time. Well, 911, let's get that rascal in here. Gretchen's dad.
Was that the master settlement agreement?
It was the first one that they took to court. It was in Indianapolis. Oh, it was big. It was, nobody thought that they'd ever break the tobacco guns, but they sure got them.
You take away the alcohol tax,
Oh, there's no doubt.
tobacco, tax and gas tax off this state.
Oh, we didn't pay no money for anything.
They want you to quit smoking. Like, try to keep going. They put a,
Everybody appreciates what
they
you
put
do.
a, 20% stand up there and we'll knock you out.
I told him to be on time.
How you been, brother?
Good, how are you? Yeah, he's running late. I'm trying to get him come here. How are you? Not really coming up there because he can't. It's not even genuine at this point.
He knows how to work it.
Hey, Brian, so we didn't want it anymore. Yep.
I'm ready to take it over. I'm basically just wanting to see if you guys had any answers or whatever to answers or.
Brian, state your name.
Brian Dehart, 911 director.
Thank you. Do you have any federal grants or anything like that that you work off of?
Just the lit.
You're working off
It's
the
not,
lit?
it's not the grant though.
No. He's got the statewide 911 money that comes in, it's 50.
They haven't talked about cutting that?
Mm,
We hope not,
hope
okay.
not, no.
Gosh, oh my.
They cut everything else, so.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
That's based on like your cell phones and all that.
Yes.
Okay, you ready?
Yep. We're looking at your budget right now on this. We'll take a look here. This is the E911.
Your insurance. License
Very
dues.
specific of what they can buy out here.
Okay.
Cut back on his equipment.
We see new things for liability insurance. Has never
Yes.
been on there before.
Yes, it started last year where we had to pay our own insurance on the building. And then-
Okay. Oh, okay, the commissioners wanted that.
Yes.
Okay. Licenses is a new line item.
Yeah, that's usually for the CAT license. We would like to get a couple of more licenses as well. Because we're trying to set up our training center and we'll need a couple more licenses for back there.
Pretty cut and
Pretty-
dried.
Yeah. I mean,
This is kind of boring.
you're,
Well, this is my first one, so you guys walk me through it a little bit.
no, you.
No, it's no big
Your budget
deal.
seems to be
That's
basically the
good.
same, just for the two new line items. And then you've cut, some, so.
Your equipment new, you cut that down.
Can you pay the liability out of E911 funds, liability insurance?
Where did I have that? What did we pay it out of last year?
I think it was out 1235.
1235. I think we just moved money over somewhere. So I was remember she called the state 911 and we couldn't pay it out of the lid.
You couldn't pay it out of the lit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Is that okay, Julie?
we'll find out.
Okay.
Okay, I think we're good on that. So the
Okay.
next budget is, you've got liability insurance in this one also. $6,000. So that would be a total of what, 15,000 between the two budgets?
How much do you actually?
I don't know, find that out.
Were you told by the commissioners how much you had to pay?
Yeah, well, they sent us a bill, so I'd have to find, I'd have to find the bills.
I'm telling you.
Yeah,
You know, you remember how much that bill was?
yeah. It was probably around 4,000, I thought.
4,000?
I was thinking something around that area. Paying for the whole year, I
Must be
believe.
a heavy tipper.
I'm kind of thinking it's gotta be paid out of the lit and not the state statewide 911 funds, but
I'll check.
Yeah,
Like
we
I
need
said,
to
I knew
check.
it couldn't come out of one of them. I was pretty sure it was
I'm thinking that it's,
Or the other one.
I'm thinking that it's a 1222 fund.
okay.
Yeah, we need to check on the liability because you've got it in both budgets. Other than that, I don't see a whole lot of,
I'm just wondering if that was not changed. Like I said, I think we moved some money over, so I don't know if that was,
Yeah, just check that and take it out, probably take it out of the,
Well,
take it
it's-
out of the lid.
yeah, it's dedicated out of PSAP, lit, according to that one. Lit, dedicated to PSAP. So, yeah, figure out,
Part of our public safety money that comes in and then it off the top.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
So for my education, this one I notice has salaries in it, whereas the previous
Yeah.
do not. Is this one already been calculated somehow and, or what's the
That's-
discrepancy?
That's probably the last year's budget, or this year's budget.
Okay.
I don't know if this is time or place, but the part-time salary, could we not get that up to regular pay as what a regular dispatcher would be? Be-
People are talking about part-time, employees and part-time. We've heard that from a lot of departments, that the
Because
part-time.
my dispatchers, if they do part-time, they gotta continue to be certified as well as just a regular dispatcher, so they can't even come in and help if they don't stay certified, so. I've had several of them tell me, well, I'm not coming in and do the same job as they are, and be.
But they don't get benefits,
Yeah, they don't get benefits.
so,
Well, pay 'em for working.
What is that hourly
Dispatch.
wage?
22.11.
don't mean they don't get insurance or.
Right, for vacation.
Planning.
Well, part-time now is like 15.
Dollars?
So it's currently 15
That's not right.
but the other full-time are making about 22.11.
Yeah, just a regular dispatcher, not like a trainer or a supervisor.
Right.
Is 22.11.
Yes, they should make.
I think that's what
they should
Norm
make
brought up
dispatcher
that
pay
point
for
with his
dispatching.
part-time help and,
Yeah.
should be the
We'll
same,
look at
they're doing
that
the same job.
when we do salaries.
Okay.
We're not doing salaries.
Yeah.
But they, it is correct that if they're dispatching, they should get dispatcher pay.
Yeah, just,
I mean,
like I
that's
said,
responsibility.
they've
That
gotta
is
keep
huge
they've gotta keep the,
responsibility.
yes, they gotta
Yeah.
keep the same search. You can't even answer a phone if you're not certified, so.
Have you got all the slots filled right now?
And no, I'm about 8 down,
Ooh.
so.
You're down 8 dispatchers?
Just about, yeah.
You gotta pay 'em.
So how do you fill the hours?
They're all just filling in when people, taking vacations or calling sick, or they're
And-
just,
Well,
and
we got that scanner on our phone now, we get the stuff right away.
yeah.
So, again, just for my education, you've got people who are coming in and filling in on top of their 40 hours, I
Yes.
assume.
Yes.
Which means we're now paying time and a half?
Sometimes, yes.
So it may end up being cheaper for the county to.
But we need to have full
And you don't wanna
dispatch.
have cheap dispatchers,
Yes.
that's for damn sure.
Right, now, I wasn't suggesting that
No,
we
I
want
know,
to.
but I mean,
I'm just
for
saying that,
myself, clarification.
Yeah, I'm saying it may be logical, even if we were looking at this strictly from a financial position, it may be less of a burden on the county to say, hey, dispatchers need to be at this because we're obviously paying other
Part-time.
dispatchers.
Right.
Part-time.
And
Yeah,
this-
the part-time, yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree.
The jailers, it's gonna keep jailers.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, you're right, Judy, that's spot on. These are-
Technically, I'm
these are-
down 8, but we've just hired 3, but they just started, so they're in the training process, so they won't be ready to go until probably
And these
6
are the
months.
jobs that we don't want, you know,
Yeah, you've gotta have 'em.
half-witted people working. We've got
At-
professional, dependable people doing
Yes.
that job.
At any given
And they'll
moment,
stay.
how many dispatchers are sitting, taking calls?
We do not go any lower than 3, so we've gotta have 3 people in there. One to do the fire department, and the other do the 2 law enforcement agencies.
And then on a high end, what would that be?
Well, we would high end, we'd like to have at least 5 in there at a time. That's probably unrealistic.
And
4
how-
4 would be the best,
So 3 to 4.
yes. Well, 3 is right now. I mean, that's what we're getting by with is 3.
Brian, should you raise the wages?
Yeah, we would love to get the wages raised. So, but that's been a battle for several years.
We're not broke.
Well, I will bring that up then.
I'm serious as a heart attack. I mean, this is not how we should be operating.
Yeah, because a lot of the complaints are coming in is that our dispatchers are making less than, not to downgrade them, but clerical over there at the prosecutor's office. They can go over there and get paid more.
And it's far less stressful.
Yes,
People at McDonald's are making $19 an hour,
so.
and you get free French fries.
Oh, they are? I'm looking for part-time work.
You'll fit right in,
So,
buddy.
yes, they definitely do need.
Brian, how does your wage compare to other wages of a comparable size county as us in that department?
I think they're pretty much around the same. I mean, I'd have to go in and look at that.
There
But-
is some paperwork, I know that, not there, but I'm still trying to go through, Sarah had previously, that they will do exposure, so there is, we're doing training and coming on myself new for like 4 weeks.
And he said the ground running, and definitely Josh's need his pay up, so.
How many dispatchers do you currently have?
18,
Are you
You
still
have
working-
18 right now?
yes. But is that including?
That's including-
The new trainees.
That's including the 3 that we just hired, so.
All right, so I'm
15
gonna
and
reverse the
3
math.
trainees.
If there's 24 hours in a day, times 3 positions is 72 hours, times 7 days is 504 hours in a week. If we were to divide that by 40, you need about 12.6, we'll call it, round it up to 13 dispatchers. You currently have 18. So how are we down dispatchers if that's the case?
Well, we're
What's the salary ordinance? How many are you allowed on the salary ordinance?
25.
It's just hard to get
How many
people.
dispatchers are on shift at a time, probably?
3.
At a time, there's 3.
Three needs
We've got
5,
6 on a
really.
shift. We've got 6 on a shift right now.
Yeah.
But all 6 are not working at the same time because their days rotating.
Okay, so even
Just
though
like
there
the
are
sheriff-
3
just like
sitting there
sheriff's
taking
department.
calls, there are 2 others doing something different?
No.
Or 3 others, you said there's 6 on a shift?
There's 6 on a shift, like day shift, but it's just like the sheriff's department alley run, it's 4 and 2. So you got probably 3 off at the time. Everybody's days off are different.
Okay.
Because you're working around the clock.
You got 20 employees
Yeah.
and they got 2 weeks vacation.
Yeah.
To fill in, it takes.
Mhm.
Not all working, yeah.
And we can't go below 3, so you always gotta have 3 in there. So
Right.
a lot of times what we do is, mandatory overtime, so if somebody calls in sick, then somebody's gonna have to stay over on the midnight shift for 4 hours, and then somebody early comes in on the mid shift 4 hours early.
Okay.
So,
All right, well, like I say, we're gonna work on salaries, but that'll be a little later time. We'll
Okay.
See where we're at.
Well, make your case for raising that salary, because obviously people are not coming in to work that job.
no, yes, we definitely need to get that up.
No, it's hard. It's hard.
So,
Any other questions for him?
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
thank you.
still working with the fire department too?
For now, I'm getting ready to give it up, so.
Are you
I'm
really?
expecting-
Woo.
Well, this is
Yeah.
a full-time.
Two full-time jobs.
So-
You're an overachiever.
Hey, I remember when he was a kid on the fire department, and my boy was a cadet.
Oh,
Remember Casey?
I wasn't, yeah, that boy's been, no, I'm just kidding.
You're full of baloney.
How's he going?
Good, he's moving back to Terre Haute. Yeah, he's gonna be a nurse and that.
Today,
Yeah, Caleb, yeah.
That's a good way to make a
Yeah.
living, being a
And then
nurse,
his
I'll tell you.
wife is now, but they just bought a house up on Shrine Farms.
Oh,
They built a new one in Evansville, they've been there 4 years. They both got jobs up there, she has a job.
How long you been there? 4 weeks?
yeah.
And you are
So
going
I'm
for
trying
punishment.
to dig through everything. What's your role?
I'll tell you what, Brian, you're lucky to find a sucker. I'll tell you what, this is a good area, this will work.
Are you over in West Terre Haute?
I see you around the shop anymore.
As soon as he gets his job, he'll have some
Yeah,
money.
that's why he needs some time off.
I know, I used to see him,
Yeah.
not because of the fire department.
Well, yeah, he had time off.
And he's on Honey Creek
Sometimes it's
for
pizza
years.
day, sometimes ice cream day, sometimes.
I'll still be down there as a volunteer.
Oh, good.
It's the band. Yeah, I'm gonna try to help. Things like wall fan. Right. That's what I told Brian.
Well, there's
Dispatch or something.
gotta be a place where we can find people who want to dispatch it seriously, you know, that they consider that a career.
get that for you.
Thanks, guys.
Sounds good.
I'm good, how are you? That was Vicky. I'm good, my dear, how are you?
This is my question. Even at 4 full-time people sitting there, is it often a 2 get 4? That's only, it's less than 17 people to fill that 7 days a week. And they're at 18 right now. I can understand why you're trying to get a couple to help out with vacations and stuff. I don't understand how they're short. Okay, so it's not all. There might be some anomalies that like staff, and a lot of these guys will ask me, check to see from another county if this guy doesn't sell them, whatever,
Almost sure they.
I'm not a raspberry fan. This is vodka.
That it's fine, it's very good.
I'm not sure about it.
Yeah.
Just gotta make some room for it.
We're doing these stuff over. I've got, go away, Scott.
It's not your turn. I don't get it turned off.
He just wants to make sure he is selling right this year.
Yeah, that was fun, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Glenn, are you ready?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I should be very easy.
Well, thank you for being here. Tell us your name for the record.
My name is Glenda Cheeseman, and I'm the director of Vigo County CASA program.
Do you have any notification of grants that have been cut or lowered? Or anything?
Absolutely. Our VOCA grant, we are losing it September 31st of next year.
Next year.
It's a 2-year grant, and we will not be getting it back. It has been cut. It was originally established as a full-time position. I had to come to county to ask if they would carry the benefits because VOCA cut the benefits from the package. So the grant had to be rewritten as a part-time position, so we lost the full-time position, although the county was gracious and gave us 2 at that time. VOCA was supposed to pick up the 3rd. And they cut the benefits from it. So I had to come back to council and ask for the benefits, but the council at that time could not provide it. So the grant had to be PMR'd, which is Program Modification Request, which was just completed. And it got converted to a part-time position at a full-time pay rate, which was a nightmare to deal with. And due to the fact that we were already given 2 full-time positions, the VOCA grant denied us to be able to apply for anything that involves case management again, so we're done. We can't apply for anything, and I'm not applying for some stupid position, I'm sorry, just to have it. I won't do that. And I'm not going to make up a position, so we are graciously going to accept that it's not coming back. By that happening, we will lose a person with a caseload of 29 cases, 96 children that they serve. So we are going to be put in a hardship again. But we have a person who is leaving our program. She's retiring. So we are going to try to restructure that position. Well, we're restructuring that full-time position to save Maria because we know she's going to be leaving at the end of next year. So we reconstructed that position. And we brought back in a person who is willing to finish out the grant, knowing that there's not going to be a job when it's done. They're going to finish it so that we still don't lose the grant. But here's the caveat. We could still lose the VOCA grant because they go by year 1, year 2. And if you do not spend down all of your funds from year 1 into year 2, they can take that fund away from you and take the money. So they can, as soon as 6 months, potentially lose the VOCA grant completely because we can't spend down the $36,000 that's sitting there for the wages because it's part-time hours, not full-time. And it was all based upon full-time pay. So there's a large, and I showed it to Judith how we had to restructure from year 1. We have to do it again in year 2 to show we had to move money over to travel and things like that to try to spend it down. And if we don't spend it down, they'll take it from us because that's what they're doing. So we did get a mild increase into our state GAL grants, GAL and capacities for 2026, not much, maybe I think a $10,000 or a $15,000 bump. That doesn't cover the cost of another staff member. I would love to graciously come before council and ask for another full-time position if possible. I know that it's a lot to ask for, or to ask for 2 part-time positions because we've never had part-time positions under county, under the juvenile budget. The judges that I work with, we now have a 3rd judge that we are before, Magistrate Reyes. We are now ordered to be on all cases that close out due to guardianship, CHIN's cases. That closed because of guardianships and CASA was a part of, so now we have to go back and revisit that if they want to dissolve the guardianship. And just with that change that went into effect on July 1st, we have already picked up 33 new cases on top of the 900 and some cases that we're already serving.
That's what I was going to ask you, how many cases?
Yeah, we just got, before I came in here, I got 4 more because we're automatically appointed to that. I have a full caseload myself that I'm seeing. We have staff members in court 5 days a week. Mediation has increased from 1 Wednesday a month to now every Wednesday a month, so they have to shut our offices down to hold mediations too. We are swamped, and we are doing it with very limited staff, very limited capacity. So I wanted to come before council and ask for at least another part-time position or a full-time position because we need it. With the new courts, 3 courts, 4 courts that we're actually in now, we will now have a guardianship and a paternity case that because we're also being appointed to paternity cases. Our caseloads are astronomical, and we're losing volunteers.
Who are the judges you're working with? besides
Matt
Ray?
Effner is the juvenile magistrate. Charles Ray is the magistrate that will be taking. So Matt Effner will carry the first part to disposition. Then Magistrate Ray will take from that point forward. And then we have specialty judges, which is Judge Reddy, and we have Honorable Mulligan as well. And we've also been in Charles Johnson's court as well.
For my education, what all does CASA do?
Everything. We are court-appointed special advocates to advocate in the best interest of the children who are traveling through the juvenile system due to CHIN's cases, which are children in need of services, which are open DCS cases of abuse and neglect. We are state mandated to be a part of that. That's Indiana code. We are to be a part of that to speak on the best interest of the child traveling through the juvenile system. Our requirements under that is we are supposed to see a child every month. That means not every 30 days. It means June, July, August, there has to be a visit within that month. We have to write a report. We have to create data. We have to document all that. We have to attend child and family service team meetings, service provider meetings. We have to meet with all the parties in the case so that we can compile a report to go back to the judge. We also have to testify. We also cross-examine, and we actually file motions and stuff within the courts. We also have to do recruitment and awareness to try to bring volunteers into our program. We have to fundraise to provide necessities and essentials to the children because that is not something that is provided for through grants. So we do everything, all ourselves.
And there's how many of you?
There is currently right now 17 staff members. There are 10 of us that are full-time and the rest are part-time under GAL, VOCA, and capacity grants. And then I have 37 volunteers that oversee 942 children.
All right, and so, again, for my education, this may not be a question directed to you, perhaps somebody on the board here. How does this work with what Judge Reddy had asked for the funds that she had asked for her special program. Do you guys work with her on that?
No, we're
It's
separate.
completely separate.
Mhm.
So what do you do, or what does she, and you may not know this, what does she do that's different than this? And,
We are working strictly under the juvenile system, under
Okay.
children's systems, but we get appointed to cases that she oversees. So they can ask for a GAL or a CASA. GAL is attorney that has CASA training, and we're all state mandated and state trained CASA personnel. So we have to go through a very extensive and continuing extensive training. It never stops. We work on the way the courts are changing. We're working in all cases that involve children at this point. So they want a CASA. So what is a CASA? We are the third we're the neutral party that's going in and looking at every aspect that's touching that child's bubble. And we report it back to the judge so that he has a full picture of what's going on with that kid's life. Good, bad, or indifferent, we have to tell the judge what's going on. DCS, service provider, school, medical, therapeutic, all of that stuff. Criminal even proceedings we have to do. We have to look at the kid, and then we have to look at every person that has a party to that. Same thing, criminal, medical, all that, and then it has to be given to the judge so that he can make a decision in the best interest of that child moving forward.
thank you.
They're kind of on their own, but they're not really a government deal. That's why you look at that, or, you know, the only thing in their budget there, but.
And not all counties have.
And they fundraise, they have events.
She works like a fool. You can't believe all, she
When they
works
started this,
constantly
I remember
raising
when they started
funds.
CASA, when did we start CASA?
We're 40 years old this year, started in 1985. We are the second oldest program of a CASA program in the state of Indiana. The actual Indiana State GAL program did not start until 5 years after us.
And they started out, we gave them I was commissioner there, we gave them a little place, and then they've expanded. And
They originally started in the children's home, which was out by Sealyville.
Yeah.
Then they moved over
Lambeau,
here
yeah.
to the juvenile center and was in where the clerks are now. They were in a one little room office there, and then they moved into the office that we currently are in then. And then just a couple of years ago, Brad was here when they closed us off because we kept getting a lot of crazy people in our office, and so they made us safe and put us all into one unit.
You put a fence around them to keep them.
And she's really done a great job, and if you look, we've seen commercials on TV for CASA a lot. I just don't notice lately.
Knox County has one, yes.
Yeah, and bring it, yes, that was Knox County, and to people getting out, most people don't know what CASA is.
We are confused a lot with CODA, DCS, or Casey. That's what they think we
Is
are.
CASA its own non-for-profit, or
We're
is
not
it a
non-for-profit.
government?
We're government. We're under the juvenile, the Supreme Court in Indianapolis. We are under, Chief Justice Loretta Rush is our overseer. We're under the Supreme Court of Indiana.
She's always doing projects that, like at Halloween time, they'll be very noticeable.
We have one of the largest trunk or treats that takes place out here in the parking lot. Majority of all the county offices participate. We have around 3,000 to 4,000 people that come through, and we do it in about 2.5 hours. And it's all done with donations. We
Everything
do
she
our
does is at top speed.
Christmas in Whoville is our next biggest event that takes place. Trees will go out into the community. We receive donations, industrial, people buy for us. You have actually donated to us as well.
Just didn't know it.
Yeah, just didn't know it. Has provided to us, and we take over the fairgrounds, turn it into Whoville, and we provide blankets, bedding, clothing, hygiene, Christmas projects. We provide meals, food, insecurity bags, undergarments, shoes, socks, everything to every child that we serve for the year, which is around, last year we had 2,700 children come through. That's not including the adults that participate with them, but we do all that with donations. It takes about 175 of us to do it. And we set it up, tear it down within 48 hours.
So if she asks you, just say yes. There is no no in her.
The only thing that we see in your budget is $298 for contracted.
Okay, so what this is when I became CASA director in 2017, there was some funds with the assistance of Judith and them that we found there was a 1212 account that had a very large chunk of change in it. We didn't know what it was being used for. So it was money that was being collected because there is under the Indiana code that we can ask for up to a $25 fee for like people to have us as a CASA, and it's for administrative cost. And they were asking for it, and they were at that time pursuing it and getting it. But they weren't using the money. It was just kind of sitting there. So in speaking with Cheryl at the time and Judith and everyone, we started using it for administrative purposes. And then as time went over, the amount of work that we were trying to get that money in, we couldn't get it in. Nobody would pay it. We're already working with a lot of indigent families already, so it's just another fee that they're not going to pay. So in 2019, we removed that from our core order, that they were no longer required to pay that. So we've just been spending the funds down. This money only gets used for either contractual items or administrative stuff, and we're 8 years in, and this is what we got left. And I just keep using it for something specific, like our state national requirement dues that we have to pay, or a contractual service, or a background check that we have to pay for, and things, because those are all necessities that we have to provide: background checks, fingerprints, drug screens, all that stuff. We have to pay for that ourselves. So we use that under administrative costs. And that's what we've been using, and I've been using this money very carefully over the last 8 years. So that, I think that's all I have left in there now, is like $298. There might be a little bit more in there, but that's kind of where we're at.
Thank you.
Okay, we have no other questions.
Well, I guess I do have another question. Are you saying this is everything?
Yeah.
That sits under the county fund, yeah, that you
We
receive.
don't fund.
Just
So-
some grants, and then the salaries are coming out of juvenile court.
Okay, that's why I said, when I saw this, and I didn't see any salaries on here, and she's asking for another position, that's why I said, was this some sort of not-for-profit or something?
No, it's under juvenile is where our full-time staffing are,
Okay.
is under the juvenile system, because we work under the juvenile program. Our full-time through the county are under the juvenile budget, and Ellen's already been in here to talk to you about those. We're under there. My part-time people are paid through our state CASA GAL capacity grants, and those come out every year. That comes from the state funding that helps us provide for most of our operating expenses, which is our copier, office supplies. We budget everything down to a fine tooth to what we need to use and what we can. We do all of our advertising inside, except for some bigger items that we were required to do. And it also covers our part-time people that we have. We
Thank-
do everything in-house.
Thank you for the education.
You still do the chili cook-off? Have you still done that?
We have not done the chili cook-off. That's kind of, we wanted to, but we just kind of, we've had to limit ourselves, because like this year we were supposed to be at the fair, and we had some technical difficulties and couldn't be at the fair this year. But we're still on board with everything else. Our fish fries this weekend with the Elks. We have our haggis that's giving away there. We had someone donate a whole hog to us to help us raise funds for our Christmas in Whoville. So we're doing that, and then we're doing our Elks thing, and then the following weekend is the Do a Wheelie for Casa. So that's the second or third largest car show in the area that's for us. So that we'll be doing that, and then we go right into Trunk or Treat, and then we go right into Whoville.
You do a deal with Nick on that car show, a guy named Nick?
June Eddington and a couple of others are the ones that kind of oversee that. They do a 50-50 drawing for us. They do this. We provide the baskets for the silent auction, and then they split the proceeds with us, and we get it. And then of course, we have a yard sale we do every year. We're doing a can drive. Mervis has partnered with us to do the can drive, so anyone can take in aluminum cans, 1 can at a time, to help the CASA program. So we receive funding from that as well.
Do you still accept clothes?
We have no place to put it.
We had that closet in
We
there for a while.
had a closed closet and a pantry for a while, and then due to our growing and trying to accommodate for everyone that we have in our staffing, we did get a trailer donated to us last year for us to help with the storage. But when we get into our busy season, and I don't know if you saw the emails where we let everybody know that we were offloading our trailer and then reloading our trailer, same thing. So now we put stuff on it to store during our silent time, and then as soon as we have to start using it, we have to start transitioning everything back and forth between the office, because we have no place to put anything. And I have asked to see if there was a spot they could give us, a little cage or something somewhere, so that we could just have some place to put our stuff, but there's just nothing available at this time, and we lost our funding to have a storage unit, so we can't even afford to do that at this point.
Side note, you mentioned car show. We do a annual car show right now. There is another project that we do that goes to benefit. However, we're thinking about adding a second, not a car show, but what are they called? What's it called when you, like, all the cars just come, but there's not.
It's a drive-in.
Drive-in. Yeah,
Cruise-in.
Cruise-in, that's it. So if you want to talk to Alex down there, I don't know if he already has another project that he's
Sponsor.
working towards, but if he doesn't, this would probably be a great project for us to partner with.
Yeah, we're willing to be there.
You have good turnout.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we came to the last one you guys had. We were just there.
Okay.
But yeah,
So
we'll,
our fall one might be a good one this might be a good,
absolutely.
project for us to
Invite
Couldn't
us
get a
along, we'll be there.
project. I mean, they're the best. You
Yeah.
guys are the best.
We're at First Responders tonight doing kids' IDs. It's a thing I did when I was many, many years ago when I was a domestic violence advocate and a safe dates trainer, was these child ID kits. So I actually worked with a company to formulate a child ID kit for us so that we do fingerprinting, photographing, and everybody, we're doing that over at the First Responders tonight, so.
that's awesome. Thanks for all your hard work.
coming. Thank
No
you
problem.
for
Do you
the
need anything else
information.
from me?
You know, I do have one question.
Yes, Miss
What do
Vicki.
you do with your spare time?
I build decks.
You build decks?
Yeah, I build decks and pergolas.
Really?
And lay
Really?
cement. Yeah, that's my
You're
hobby.
serious? When
I'm
do you-
absolutely serious.
When do you have any spare time is what I want to know.
It is what it is. It's just my thing. It's what I deal with. That's my stress relievers. I
You
build
are
decks and design decks for
amazing.
people. Yeah.
You're and you had a heart attack too.
Yeah, I had some heart problems.
That was God's way of telling you to slow down, woman.
I had some heart problems, but you know what? You can't
You're
stop me. They just put a machine in and said, keep her going.
Keep
There
up
you
the
go.
good work. Thank you.
You are
Thank you.
amazing.
I will be before you guys then if it's okay for me to come before you and present.
Sure.
Heck yeah.
Okay, I will do so. Thank you.
Heck yeah.
Have a wonderful day, everyone.
You too.
You too. Okay, we have a half-hour break.
Any chance this person can come sooner?
They already came an hour. They were scheduled way late than that.
Yeah, we were
Okay.
on the bottom.
Yeah, they're not in this building either.
No, they're at the airport. Aeroport. Well, hadn't this been so much fun?
Can we look at their budget real quick? Can you pull it up?
Is there a time you guys think you want to meet again? District's open all next week. I didn't know if there's a day, time that we can go ahead and announce before we get it in.
You got some stuff put together for us?
My only day next week is Monday.
Are you guys thinking morning, afternoon,
How long were you?
whatever you all need to discuss?
What is it? How was the one that you
No, yes, just the two, three, four.
You guys want to do 10 a.m. on Monday? 10 a.m. Monday? Does that work for everybody?
You'll have to announce it after EMS is, like recess.
We're gonna have to schedule Monday morning. You gotta go through budget. You gotta go budget for budget. And what are we gonna keep, what are we gonna get rid of, what are we gonna?
I got notes on a lot of them, I do everybody got them.
Should we do like an all-day?
I think you're all minimal, but.
So we might be here for several hours.
Who better we not have?
Half the departments don't even come in.
Who do we have?
We haven't, but.
IT is not.
Some of them did.
Oh,
I can-
okay.
I can get started if you want.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, welcome back.
Yeah, thank you. I think.
Yeah.
But thanks for coming.
I don't see any changes on this one.
And you're waiting on somebody?
Keith's coming with the LEPC budget, and
Oh,
Troy's
okay.
coming with ours.
Okay.
But I can,
We'll wait.
We'll wait.
We'll wait for him.
all right.
Doesn't look like it changes.
No, this,
Now, we'll look at it
yeah,
here
this
while
year
we're
there
doing
really
that.
wasn't.
You didn't make any changes, did you?
No, well, you asked us not to.
I know, thank you.
Yeah.
Somebody listen to me?
You know, so
No.
we
Well.
tried not to.
Well, as we know, cuts are coming.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
at least for the next 3 years. And, so we appreciate that. And,
Yeah.
and a lot of people have, some have reduced theirs and some have,
Some of them
made changes.
can't. I mean, you get
No.
some.
Well, we get contracts and leases,
Yeah.
there's stuff, service agreements, everything changes, but we appreciate that.
I think that the biggest challenges usually are contracted services like IT services.
Yeah. that's
And,
for
and those
sure.
type things.
Utilities and all that
Mhm.
stuff go up. You
Yep.
can't help but
And then granting has,
Yeah.
dwindled off to almost impossibly.
we just got notification, as you guys might know, the EMPG grant is called Emergency Management Performance Grant. And what that is, it comes from federally to the states, just like all of them do. So what the county does, in the past, it's been about 50% of our 3 salaries. You always get it a year in arrears, as long as you're making certain metrics in that.
Right.
They did drop that from 50%. Jay, I know you're surprised. I think when we calculate it out, it's probably sitting right around 40% now of what we estimate would come back. That should be hitting for the 24 salaries, should probably be hitting in September. And then they've just opened the granting process that we start for the reimbursement of the county for 25 salaries. We're guessing it's gonna be about 40%. Normally they open that grant a lot earlier, but with the grant status right now, that's why it's gonna come so late. And then there is another grant that opens up, it's called SHSP, and that's the
What is it, say that again?
SHSP.
Oh, SHA, okay.
Yeah, and that's the state.
We're just talking.
Yeah, we're just talking about grants. Homeland Security is not for grant. They just came out and said the grant's opening, okay? And then they sent us a document they call a NOFO, Notice of Finance Opportunity. And that tells you when the grant opens, we know what the cap is going to be when the grant closes. They don't have it yet, which is unusual because normally it would have been already said and done.
And that's federal also.
Everything is fed down to the state. And then another grant that we usually help other entities in the community is, we love the acronyms, right? NSGP, it's a not-for-profit safety security grant program. Normally that would have opened in April. They just said that it's going to open, same thing, no information on opening and closing type thing, which means they usually that'll give us a real tight turnaround. It'll give us 3 weeks to do the application, send it in, and find out if we're going to get the grant, and then they may give us a very short spend time. So that's why the grants this year have been just out of whack.
I know.
So normally we would have seen them probably in the springtime. Federal budget year ends September 30, so I have a feeling they're gonna push us to get them done and everything processed probably by their October 1 budget. Nothing would surprise me.
Is that coming from Homeland Security?
Yeah, it
Most
comes
of
from the
your
Fed,
stuff?
yeah, most of our stuff comes on the DHS side, so then it goes to IDHS, Indiana Department of
Yeah,
Homeland
right.
Security. State always takes their part of the grant funds, and then they will send out the information on the grants themselves.
Homeland Security's been pretty busy here in the
Yeah,
last
they've been just
few
a little
months.
bit.
But yeah, granting that was really easy before, now, a lot of stuff just disappeared, tightened up.
You know, we're seeing that with
Every,
yeah, it's just not
probably
that.
brick grants, all those kind of things have just either dried up or gotten really, really tight on a lot of their requirements. And if we write a grant, we have to use the word terrorism in the grant. This is tied to the terror nexus. So as we write, we have to write.
When you
So-
write,
He's
add the
good at that.
fright, yeah.
He's good at that.
Yes, he
Yeah.
is. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Make it sound like we're getting ready to
That
close the
creative
doors.
writing class comes in
We're gonna
handy.
close the door, sorry.
Yeah, so, sometimes you have to be a little creative with your verbiage. Last time SHSP, they turned us down on SHSP.
Yeah, we didn't really have a good, budget
Terror
setting.
nexus.
No, you know, it didn't really, we were looking for no new overhead doors for the building. We thought,
Yeah.
okay, security and stuff like that. Of course, we're sitting on a military base, so it's like security.
Yeah,
Yeah.
got pretty good security,
Yeah.
yeah.
They check our doors all the time, so
Yeah.
it wasn't really, it was probably, there's priorities, and then there's, you know, there's levels of priority, and that wasn't a very good, a high priority item. So we didn't fare well.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll go ahead and get started, guys.
Alrighty.
And,
We got EMA though for
Uh-huh.
county.
yeah. Start with the EMA, we're looking at the budget.
Okay.
And like I said, it doesn't look like you haven't made any changes.
No, not at all. Going with how everything was going in government, and, yeah, we kind of know how it's gonna go. Everything's getting tight, so we thought, you know what, we don't even see the point of going to the well. We can make do with what we have.
Much appreciated. Okay, well, okay.
Is there any?
Now, we had that one, that has our, I don't know if you want to talk on that one, that has our
Spend on it so far.
contractual, has our utilities that we
Okay.
have.
Yeah, the only thing that I think we put in last year, and it's a jump ball, if you look at contractual,
Yeah.
okay, we don't know, we've been at the base now, I think we're coming up on year 16. We have basically done the maintenance on the building. That was the original agreement back in '09, that we did the maintenance on it. And there's been, no utilities, nothing else. So they have talked about perhaps going to wanting to get, utilities paid back to the base with the military. We don't know. I mean, they operate on that federal year, so, you know, their federal year may open October 1. So we don't know, but we want to be prepared if they decide that, you know, that they would like to have utilities. I mean, we have had 15 years of no utilities in that, and we're estimating that would probably be about $1,200 a month. That building is 8,500 square feet, give or take. I think a couple of you guys have been out there. If anybody wants to come to visit, come on out. Give you a show around, but it was originally an old firehouse.
Yep.
And one part of the building downstairs, we come in, there's a kitchen area. We have wall AC units. The bigger bays are not air conditioned. There's a drive-through gate that is not air conditioned. And then upstairs is the EOC, our Emergency Operations Center, and then our offices sit up there. That's on air conditioning. So it's a large space, but part of it is, you know, runs on fans and otherwise, some gas heaters to keep them warm in the wintertime. But that is our best guess, if we had a guess on what the total utilities would be. Again, the building, we have to be ready to do 24-hour operations, which we fall into depending on the needs of the community. So it's worked well. It's worked well for those 15 years. Brad remembers the old Fourth and
Yep.
Barrington place, and I like
Yep.
to try and forget it. So it's been, the relationship with the Guard has been phenomenal.
It has been, it's very,
They have helped with so many different things, you know, they'll come in and fly out. We've had,
got line of duty deaths, and they've provided manpower. Their engineering, their civil engineering will come out and help us with the problem. They've just been really great, and it's probably one of the most secure places you can find in the entire county. I haven't lost a catalytic converter, or a piece of equipment.
There you go.
You gotta deal with the guys and the gals on the gate, so, they're usually
Got a restaurant right there.
They
What
got
the heck?
guns.
Yes, they
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
They got bombs.
Yeah, they're pleasant, but, you know, if you don't have business there, you better move along, so.
Yeah.
It's been a great relationship for
Yeah.
us and for the county, actually, so that's why we've been asking
It was
for
better than
that.
South 4th Street, the old firehouse.
Oh, gosh.
Brad's been there, Brad remembers that place. Yeah, like I said, I try to forget that one. So that's the only thing that we included in the budget, but we don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if it doesn't get tapped in, it just rolls back to the county general, so.
I don't have any questions.
No
It looks good to
questions.
me,
Good.
and
Okay.
thank you for doing what you're doing.
Thanks.
What else, what's the next budget?
LAPC?
Yeah, LAPC's next. There's nothing different on it either. Again, this is not tax money. This is money that is collected from agencies or facilities around here that have what they consider reportable quantities of extremely hazardous substances, EHSs. And so it's money that comes from that, from the Indiana Emergency Response Commission. And every county has to have an LEPC. So this is just a hazmat only. It's only supposed to be used for hazmat equipment and things like that. So, but there's no difference in the budget from last year. So,
Pretty cut and dried.
yeah,
I think we're good with that.
okay.
Is that it?
That's it for us.
Thank you,
Well,
guys.
so I guess we can just chat.
You're our last victim, so,
Oh, really?
yeah, well, we moved everybody up, but
Well, that's what I was telling Troy when we was driving up there, and he goes, I was kind of wondering why we were leaving so early. I says, this is like 1:40. They moved it up, and we're sitting over there behind there's too many Dollar Generals in this town.
well, we got three
Bingo.
more under construction. We'll be
And
okay.
there was a Dollar General semi in front of us that was taking his sweet old time coming down Poplar.
Oh.
And we was looking, I says, Troy, it's 12:40 right now. I said.
Oh, shoot. That's
No,
fun.
we got the commissioners going fast this morning, so we had them lined up for about 2 or 3 hours, but they didn't take that long.
You know,
But,
but,
no, we know, and you guys all understand, there's gonna be some cuts in the budgets, or cuts in our income, and, trying to fund it.
have you guys gotten solid numbers from the state?
No, not yet. We
I know
wanna-
we saw the emails and stuff about, what they projected the
Yeah.
different, over the next, 3 years,
Yeah.
what it's gonna be.
We've seen those projections too, but I don't even think the state knows for sure, till they plug in numbers. And I talked to a couple of state senators, and they said this whole thing may change, because they're getting so much feedback from the local governments, and especially the smaller, poorer, Vermillion County and Clay and places like that, too much ag, they don't have a tax base, and Terre Haute's lost some of their tax base, even though assessed values went up, but we're losing tax base. So,
Well, I know that you probably don't know if you know my wife, and Judy knows her, Carol, she does a lot of stuff for the fire department, some of the volunteer fire departments and stuff and everything. And, she's called DLGF before and asked them, okay, what is going on? And they said, we don't know.
No, and now you're gonna have to come to the council for all your
Yeah.
budgets and stuff,
Right.
all the fire departments, fire districts, everything.
I mean, she talks about that stuff. And
Yeah.
It's like foreign language, binding units and things like that.
Well, we had Riley here
Whatever you say.
last night, we had Riley Fire Department was here on a special assessment. And,
Yeah, and the other thing I think is, which may be problematic, depends how many storms we have. Now FEMA, they're looking at reimbursements,
Yeah.
back, maybe $3 grand back. Well, I don't know how we're going to be able to help those departments, you know, and that's our lifeline when,
Sure.
you know, when we flood, we have all that stuff, the guys and gals out in the county. Not excluding the city, but, you know, they have their own budget. I don't know how we're gonna get reimbursements. And this last storm, we looked at, and our threshold now for the county is $502,000 is our threshold for the county. That went up from, about 350, it's steadily gone up. It's based on a dollar per capita, and so now we're at 502,000. We thought we had about 525,000 in the city and county together. FEMA came in and they threw out one bridge at $330,000, it was right up in the threshold, said, you're on it. And we have no recourse on that, so we thought we would be able to get some monies back after the storms this past spring. They took us right out of it, and I mean, they are nitpicking stuff
Yeah.
like you wouldn't believe, so.
Well, I told some guys from Honey Creek going to start doing fish fries again. They didn't like that.
Well, and I mean, you know, and Honey Creek's a bigger department, some of the
Yeah.
bigger departments have more staying power, but you look at these little ones,
Well, look at
like
Oh.
Goshen. I mean,
New
look at
Goshen,
Goshen,
Pearson,
for God's sakes.
all those guys, I mean, really, they're surviving on fish fries, donations and
And they
everything.
really got hit big time.
Yeah, and, you know, when they come through and they kick everything out and kind of change the measuring stick, you know, the year before we had storms, I think Highland, we got about 90,000 back from them. Parks Department got some money back, around 30,000. Not huge numbers, but at least with something coming back. I think when it was all said and done, I think we got about 31% back, from what we asked for. So we were kicked right out of this past one, out of the FEMA threshold. The bad thing is the state, disaster relief fund uses a similar metric. So when it kind of kicked us out of FEMA, it pretty much kicked us out of getting disaster relief funds back in the state as well. So even though we thought we threshold, we didn't.
Did
by that metric.
you guys go up on North Seventh Street just south of Fort Harrison Road? What are they ever gonna do to get those trees out of those? I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, well, that was the storm of 24 was similar. If you remember down Poplar and then out
I
towards
do,
Riley.
yes, I do.
And then down by, what's the south, by Ivy Tech there?
Oh, Robinwood?
Yeah, all that down there. SBA came out, boy, we had a plead and wiggle and jiggle for them to give, you know, their blessing for it. We did finally get state disaster relief funds, but that storm happened in June. I probably contacted them every 2 months, and it wasn't until March of this year that they said, we can get it in 24 hours, which we did, and then finally got monies back in May.
Well, in June of '23, I got hit hard. June of '24, I spent over $12,000 just picking up trees out of the yard, and then in my lake, I got one going this way and one going that way. There's no way to get to them.
Yeah.
Going to, you know, so half my lake's cut off from the neighbors, but,
Yeah, so-
but, yeah, insurance wouldn't pay for any of that stuff, you know, so.
Yeah, and that's the challenge that we hit for, a lot of individuals. Typically, when we're asking for reimbursement, they're looking at PA, which is public, so that's anything county, city, that's anything municipal. That's how we qualify the county for FEMA funds or disaster funds.
Okay.
Then it's up to federally, whether FEMA will say, okay, now we're gonna open up for IA, which is individual assistance, and that's where it goes to homeowners and things like on
those folks like on sales, they just out of luck?
if they don't, like you said, you know.
You're talking about right here by where the church is there? Yeah, they're not gonna get any assistance for
I
that.
don't know how they'll even get the trees gone. They are huge, they're big as a house.
Yeah, it's expensive. I had one come down on my house and the snow would take my deck out. And then my insurance company only pays $500.
$500 for a tree, costs $1,000 to get it off.
And it was
Yeah.
like $2,500 to get almost $2,800 to get the tree,
Yeah.
stuff off the house and everything. And then, now the insurance paid, we had like, I think ours was like $1,500 deductible. They picked up everything else for damage to the house and the deck, but that was it. But I mean, yeah. So if it doesn't hit the house or it doesn't hit a structure, yeah, you're just gonna, it's like $500 a month. And even at that, they probably won't even pay for that. They just probably won't look at that, so.
All right, guys, well, thank you for coming and give us the information. Sorry I had to rush up there.
That's okay. Wish we had better news for you, but we'll stick with that one.
Hey, we'll see what we can do.
Okay.
We'll throw the numbers together.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Any bakes, Tim?
Hey, your tree's over your lake. I know a guy that has something that you can buy that will make those go away. Tannerite stuff. You get rid of those trees.
I see that.
See you guys.
Can I get that again, please? Okay, we're going into recess now till Monday, August 11th at 10 o'clock, and where the Budget Committee will go into recess.
Judy, now what you gonna watch? As she picks up her heavy load, he picks up his heavy load. Carefree, nothing heavy to carry.
Oh, so did you want to have a quick discussion about what we were talking about?
We all?
All live stream, July 1st, and we do long.
Every program, everything. Wrong one.
I don't know what happened. Yeah, it's, live viewers, live people. Really? What do you mind doing? I don't know. What, has anybody paid attention to how high the numbers get during the meeting?
I think 4 is the highest.
5, yeah, this is the highest I've seen. When it's over, it's lunchtime. If they start to collect views as they live on YouTube. So what is an